So today, y'all, we're going to be watching the most absurd Michael Jordan stat you've never seen by the man Eddie Buckets. Now, I don't know what insane stat he's probably talking about. It might have to be something in the scoring category. Honestly, who really knows? Because Michael Jordan is just that insane. I'm going to be honest. But hey, without further ado, let's get right into this video.
Want to hear an absurd Michael Jordan stat?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
When we talk about insane, absurd, mind-boggling, and borderline psychotic individual playoff series, Michael Jordan is the greatest to ever do it, and I don't even think it's remotely close. Game score is a stat that combines everything a single player contributes to the game of basketball and puts it all into one nice, neat number. To give you guys some context about how good or bad a single game score is, a game score of around 0 to 10 is what your average role player puts up. Think about a typical game from Jackson Hayes. A game score of around 10 to 20 is what a typical all-star would put up. Think of Jaylen Brown on a normal night. A game score of about 20 to 25 is what a top NBA superstar puts up on a nightly basis. Think Luka Doncic on a normal Tuesday night. However, any game score over 25 will put you in NBA history with some of the greatest games of all time. For example, Giannis Antetokounmpo in early November of last season recorded the highest game score of the season with a stat line of 59 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals plus blocks.
That's an insane stat line. Giannis is really, I'm telling you, Giannis is really up there in the league, bro. I'm telling you. I think he's better than Jokic in my opinion. I think he's top 1 in the league, honestly. I mean, yeah, Wemby, the way he's playing, he gonna be up there too soon, I feel like. But yeah, I feel like Giannis the best in the league, my personal opinion.
And he shot 21 of 34 from the field. This gave Giannis a game score of 54.2 that night. Not only was this the best game from the 2024-25 season, but this was statistically the 17th greatest game of all time.
Damn.
Now, you know what's harder than having one of the greatest games of all time? Doing it for 4 to 7 straight games in the playoffs. Right here, we have a chart showing the greatest playoff series of all time, according to the game score stat. Reggie Miller's 1993 series versus the Knicks, where he lit up New York for 31 points a game on 53% shooting, is right here. KD's series against the Spurs in 2016 in round 2 is right here. Curry in the 2022 NBA Finals makes an appearance at 23.2. LeBron's 2016 Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals series rank very close to each other, around 25 to 26.
Yeah,
Michael
impressive.
Jordan's sweep against Orlando in 96 and his sweep against Detroit in 91 both find their way up here. Moving up the chart now, we have more Michael Jordan in the late 80s and 1991 versus Showtime. We have Shaq's 2 best series ever.
Yeah, 30.1, 30.6.
NBA Finals. Jokic's 2023 series versus Phoenix, and Giannis's 2021 NBA Finals rank way too high to be ignored. And of course, we find LeBronto near the upper limits of this chart,
right,
where LeBron James famously swept the one-seeded Raptors in 2018 with a bunch of substitute teachers by his side. But even
that was
what
a good
the team
series
has done in the playoffs doesn't even compare to MJ's best, because Michael Jordan has the best playoff series of all time in 1988 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, where the man dropped, maybe 45, 5, 4, 3 on 56% shooting.
Damn! And that was the highest one, 34? And he low-key on this list a lot, low-key too. He got a 23.9, 26.3. He got like 5 game scores here. Shoot, maybe around this chart, maybe the blue dot, shoot. Maybe it could be more of Michael. Who knows? But honestly, doubt it.
34. Well, actually, I'm lying though. This
What?
is only Jordan's 3rd best playoff series.
Huh?
Air Jordan has a peak playoff series of 38.4. Michael Jordan in this completely ludicrous playoff series averaged, embrace yourselves, 45, 9, 6, and 3 on 60% shooting.
When he do this? 45 a game? in a playoff series? What? He did this against who? Who? 45 on 60% field goal? 3 steals? He averaging a double-double. Nah, bro. Nah. To who? Who was Michael Jordan beating ass to?
These are like 2K My Career numbers on rookie settings.
Oh, God.
LeBron James' best playoff series, according to GameScore, is against the Raptors in 2018, where LeBron pretty much soloed the one-seeded Raptors in a 4-game series. The gap between LeBron's best playoff series and Jordan's best playoff series is a larger gap than Kawhi's 2019 NBA Finals when he took down the Warriors. It's a larger gap than Steph Curry's unreal 2022 NBA Finals. It's even a larger gap than LeBron's 2016 3-1 comeback in the NBA Finals.
That's
And
crazy.
this is just one lucky playoff series. Michael Jordan has 5 individual playoff series that are better than LeBron's best. Michael Jordan is the only player to have a game score of over 35 in a series, and he has the most 30 or higher series game scores of all time. Michael Jordan still holds the crown for unreal playoff series, despite nearly 30 years of basketball history after Jordan's prime, and no one has quite come up with what the Black Cat did in his prime. Today, we're going to be looking through some absolutely insane, psychotic Michael Jordan stats that might just blow your mind. So be sure to have your popcorn ready.
45 a game is crazy. I didn't know that.
Speaking of food, I'd like to welcome today's sponsor.
Oh, no. Don't hit me with the food, bro. I like my food, but we got to talk about Michael Jordan before we bring up food here, boy. I need this MJ.
A spectacular night for the Bulls as Jordan has come up with
Remember that jump like yesterday.
Jordan, of course, but specifically from his rookie year. Now, most of Michael Jordan's unreal stats, feats, and accomplishments came later into his career, but to find a really hidden, obscure Jordan stat, we have to go all the way back to 1984. Michael Jordan was drafted as the 3rd overall pick in the 1984 draft, and he did not disappoint in year 1. From the gate, you could already tell that this wasn't just another lottery pick, but he showed flashes of one of the greatest players to ever lace up on the hardwood. MJ, just his rookie year, was already averaging 28.2 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 2.4 steals a game.
That might be the best rookie season output I've ever seen from a player. I remember looking this up and I'm seeing this. I'm like, yo, this dude was averaging merely 30 a game once he got in the league. Imagine coming into the NBA, you're playing against the best players in the world, and you're literally averaging almost 30 a game every fucking night, putting your heart in and heart out. 30 a game? Bro, that's insane.
Of every NBA rookie in history to have this stat line.
No one. No one.
Even if we include all seasons in league history, even outside just rookies, there have only been 9 total seasons where a player had a stat line of 28, 6, 5, and 2. And do you know what makes this feat so ridiculous? Most NBA players typically have their worst shooting splits in their rookie season, getting used to the adjustments of facing against a new pool of world-class talent, different roles on their new NBA team, and the wear and tear on their bodies from their first ever 82-game season.
Right.
But not Michael Jordan. Air Jordan is one of 13 rookies to score at least 20 points a game in their first year and shoot over 50%. Rookie MJ was a 6'6", sub 200-pound guard in the 1980s, putting up scoring splits equal to that of 7-footers. But the madness doesn't stop there for rookie Jordan. MJ in 1985 raised the Bulls 11 wins, taking them from the second worst record in the league in 1984 at 27-55 to the 7th seed in the East with a record of 38-44 in 1985. Now, past the NBA-ABA merger, MJ in 85 made up one of 18 rookies to ever be selected for an All-Star game. He's one of 4 rookies to make an All-NBA team, and the only rookie in the modern era to lead the league in total points as a rookie. Yes,
What?
Michael Jordan.
As a rookie, he led the league in points. He led the league in points as a rookie. Really? Nah, that's one thing I didn't know either. Nah, he teaching me some facts. He led the league as a rookie. How come nobody ever told me this?
1985, scored a ridiculous 2,313 points. More total points that year than players like Purvis Short, Dominique Wilkins, Alex English, and 1985 MVP winner Larry Bird.
Yeah, he even scored more than Larry Bird. I'm surprised by that too. And Bird had a way better team. I mean, Michael, don't get me wrong though. His team was ass. He basically did have to score like a lot, but even still, like, you would think a rookie that just came in the league ain't outscoring the MVP, but he's somehow outscoring the MVP. You see what I'm saying?
Now, if you were to actually rank where Michael Jordan was in terms of the best players in the league in 1985, where would you rank him? MJ was going against other greats in the middle of their primes in 1985, like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Bernard King, Isaiah Thomas, Sidney Moncrief, Alex English, and Terry Cummings, and more. According to some popular advanced stats like PER, value over replacement, box plus minus, it's not a crazy statement to say that Michael Jordan was a top 2 player in the league in 1985. Air Jordan with hair placed top 2 in the main 4 advanced stats of PER, win shares, box plus minus, and value over replacement.
See, me personally, I would say he's top 1, but shit, a lot of y'all boys won't agree with me. I mean, I know he was a rookie, but you know what I'm saying? I think he was better than MVP Larry Bird. I'm just saying. Y'all probably won't agree with me, but shoot, my boy MJ as a rookie, he out there busting ass. He busting ass, straight belt to ass.
Yeah, this isn't a typo. There's a legit argument to be made that rookie Michael Jordan was better than peak Magic Johnson, Bernard King, Isaiah Thomas, and Sidney Moncrief. Michael in 1985 was an absolute demon on the hardwood. He was a scoring machine that had a crazy first step, unreal hang time, and was already one of the best slashers in the game. Now, when I first saw rookie Jordan's stat line, these crazy numbers reminded me of someone. While SGA doesn't have the same type of explosive burst to the rim and relies more on mid-range shots, both players are among the top drivers in the NBA, along with their eerily similar builds.
Word.
Along with this, Shea's stat line in 2025 is pretty identical to rookie Jordan. While SGA has rookie MJ beaten by a pretty good margin for scoring, both players put up very similar amounts of rebounds and assists. Both players definitely leave their contributions on the defensive end. Both players have a nearly same field goal percentage, and both players have nearly identical free throw shot logs. Now, going back to
my boy SGA, and that's the thing. That's the thing that people will say, like, SGA is a foul baiter, and yeah, he doesn't deserve a lot of his fouls that he does get. I kind of do agree with that. But even then, if you're comparing his free throw attempt rating to like players of like Kobe, Wade, Jordan, it's eerily similar. The amount of free throw attempts that he is getting. So I don't know what people be talking about. Shea Gilchrist is worse than James Harden when it comes to foul bait. No. James Harden is beyond probably the worst I've ever seen. Shea is pretty bad. Don't get me wrong, but James Harden, yeah, that guy's different. I'm not gonna lie.
And both players have nearly identical free throw shot logs. Now, going back to that value over replacement stat from earlier, a stat that shows the estimated value that a player brings to the court compared to the average NBA player. 2025 SGA slightly sits on top of him at 8.8 compared to Jordan's 7.3 in 1985. SGA's 2025 campaign was an all-time great season, and there's no doubt about that, except Michael Jordan has 8 individual seasons that rank higher than 2024-25 Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah, that's not a typo. Michael Jordan has 8 seasons that are better than the season where SGA won every award known to mankind.
Nah, that's he has 8 seasons better than that season. I would maybe think he would have like 3, 4, 5, 8, 8 seasons better than that season. Really? That MJ was that valuable. I mean, nah, he was that valuable. Let me stop. Nah, he definitely was that valuable, especially to that Bulls team. People can say, when Jordan left, the Bulls were still a good team. Yeah, they were still a good team, but to be a great team, they needed MJ, bro. They needed MJ to be a great team.
Michael Jordan in
The best
1995
team.
was just getting started, where he would completely tear up the league in the following seasons.
Here's James. He was looking for contact from Jermaine O'Neal, got a piece of it.
Damn!
Slashers the game of basketball's ever seen.
Oh my
Nicknamed
God.
The Flash. 1 second you would be face to face with him on the perimeter, and the next moment, the 6'4" guard would be throwing down posters on your favorite big man. D. Wade during the mid to late 2000s was one of the most unstoppable slashers the game has ever seen. Now, taking a look at the complete opposite end of perimeter scorers, we have Carmelo Anthony. Melo during the early 2010s was arguably the greatest mid-range player the game had ever seen. I mean, you could lock this guy in a phone booth, and he would have absolutely zero trouble getting a bucket. Now, what do you get when you take the slashing abilities from late 2000s Dwayne Wade and the mid-range assassinry of New York Knicks Carmelo Anthony?
MJ.
Well, you might have just created Michael Jordan in his prime.
Right.
The other day, I was going through my daily procrastination when I ran into this subreddit. The title reads, "According to tracking stats, Michael Jordan was arguably both the best slasher and mid-range shooter of all time." Now, this is a pretty bold take. Dominating two opposite ends of offense at the same time should be impossible, right? This article goes on to explain how in the 1996-97 season, the first season that the NBA officially started counting specific player shooting data, that Michael Jordan shot in between 49 and 51% from mid-range. Pretty impressive, taking into account that he had the third highest efficiency and the first highest volume of mid-range shots.
That's pretty impressive. You take the most amount of mid ranges, and you still are very efficient with it. That's what we always known Jordan as. Like, look at his post-up game. Look at how he gets to the mid-range and creates space. He does it so fluid and just efficient. He doesn't take a lot of stamina, a lot of, energy to be able to perform his moves. He just gets into the 1-2 pull-up, you know what I'm saying? Little shoulder bump, fade away. You know what I'm saying? We all know MJ was crafty when it came to his mid-range game. So I'm not surprised by hearing this.
Now, in 1997, MJ was still one of the greatest players of all time, but he was 33 years old and was starting to regress compared to his former younger self. Luckily for us, though, this Reddit thread also gave us a link to unofficial shooting data from 126 games from the 1990, 91, and 92 NBA season, the time I would consider to be Jordan's peak. On realgm.com almost blew me away. Michael Jordan threw 126 unofficially tracked games in the early 90s, shot nearly 75% from the rim, 59% from the paint overall, 51% from mid-range, and 38% from three.
38% from the three? 38% from the three? Jordan was shooting the three like that? He was out there shooting the three ball like that? Damn! Shit, maybe he could have been aggressive. Maybe in this time, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you transport Jordan into this time, maybe he could be the best three-point shooter. Nah, I'm playing. Probably not the best three-point shooter all time. But nah, he would definitely still be a good-ass three-point shooter in today's time for sure. You take that mid-range, and you got to think, right? And people nowadays don't play in the mid-range like how they used to. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the mid-range are going to be open, and that's going to allow his 3 game to also evolve, and shoot, he'll be shooting that shit. I ain't going to lie. Nah, he was hitting them threes.
These numbers are crazy efficient in the 90s, and even 35 years later, these numbers would still put you among the best in the league. For context, SGA in 2025 was the best scorer in the league, and he shot around 69% from the rim, 59% from the paint overall, 50% from mid-range, and 37% from 3. Near identical numbers as prime MJ. Now, digging even deeper into this website, it gives us Michael Jordan's tendencies and numbers in isolation, and they were pretty shocking. Not only are these numbers impressive, to no one's surprise, but the one metric that stands above the rest was that Michael Jordan during these 126 games shot 63.7% when he was driving to the rim. Once again, for context, SGA in 2025 shot exactly 60% while he was driving to the basket. Now, choke Paul 3 and making the claim that Michael Jordan is the greatest slasher and mid-range shooter ever is kind of hard to defend with real tangible evidence.
Right, but like, if you're just seeing that season let alone though, you could very much argue that if you're saying that probably for that season. Now, you probably got to look at every other season to really make like you need a bigger sample size to be able to make a statement like this, but damn, 63% at the rim, you got 50%, basically 50% and above from the mid-range. Yeah, if you're talking about probably that 96, 97 season, to say that statement, that really not that crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it's really not that crazy. That's not a crazy statement at all. I've seen that shit, I believe it. I fucking believe it. No doubt.
Because we don't have any advanced shooting data from MJ's first 11 years of his career, but does MJ have the greatest slashing and mid-range combo peak we've ever seen? Was there a player during any point in their career that dominated the mid-range and attacking the rim in the same time like early 90s Jordan did?
Nah.
Well, to figure this out,
I don't think so.
The top 25 slashing seasons from 1997 to 2025. I used pure paint scoring numbers instead of driving numbers for a couple of reasons. Driving NBA stats are really hard to find, and what counts as a drive versus what counts as a cut, post-up, transition, or anything in between has been measured differently in this 28-year period. So for the sake of consistency, I found the paint scoring numbers of players that do most of their paint scoring from drives anyways. Taking a look at this chart, we have some of the greatest individual seasons of all time. We have efficiency from the paint on the x-axis and the amount of paint makes on the y-axis. Allen Iverson in 2001 made nearly 400 shots in the paint, but was pretty inefficient doing it.
Yeah, but you gotta think, I feel like this chart wouldn't it skew towards more of the big man though? No? I feel like, I don't know, you can't necessarily use just this as I mean, there's a whole lot of things that go into it, but I feel like this would probably be more of a thing for big man. I feel like big man will take a lot of shots like this, and they would probably be more efficient at it since they're big, you know? But who knows? Let's just see what my boy's saying.
We have other Hall of Fame slashing seasons like 2017 Westbrook, 2011 D Rose, and
unless he just is including guards.
2003 Kobe actually fell lower than I thought. 2025 Shea, 2009 Wade, and 2023 Luka all surprised me with how much paint scoring they were doing. And to really no one's surprise, 2013 LeBron James and 2021 Giannis pretty much dominate this chart with the most makes and highest efficiency at the same time down low. Now, where's early 90s Michael Jordan, you ask? Numbers adjusted for an 82-game season, and MJ is right here. Now, Eddie, I thought you said that these were absurd Michael Jordan stats. MJ looks pretty normal in here. Very true point, viewer. While MJ still places very well on this chart, he isn't in his own galaxy, as Jimmy High Roller would say. But just
Nah, he ain't in his own galaxy, but that's definitely, if you're saying compared to every other guard besides Shea for maybe that season, Yeah, I mean, nah, he's better dang near than everybody else, to be honest. I feel like Shea just drove more probably in the paint. That's probably what it was, if I had to be honest, but who really knows?
Hear me out. Now, I did the same thing with the top 25 mid-range shooting seasons since 1997. Once again, we have total mid-range makes on the y-axis and efficiency on the x-axis. Kobe Bryant's MVP 2008 season places lower than I expected, closer to 2005 Rip Hamilton than anything. 2018 LaMarcus Aldridge is a sleeper pick for mid-range assassins. 2003 T-Mac was just a scoring warrior. We have 2014 KD, along with 2013 Melo in the same area. Some real all-time great mid-range shooting seasons that people sleep on are campaigns like 2008 KG, 2022 DeMar DeRozan, and 2011 Dirk Nowitzki. But where is early 90s MJ again? Well, he'd be all the way up here. Once again, Michael Jordan's makes were adjusted for an 82-game season, and he still has more than 170 mid-range makes than the next closest competitor, 2011 Dirk, while having the fourth highest efficiency in this chart with this insane amount of volume.
Yeah, he's shooting like, let me see, what percentage is that? Let me go back.
Now we've established the greatest slash, next closest competitor.
Let me see, that's like 53, like 52, 53% off that. 516 make. That shit is crazy. That's crazy how efficient he was.
2011 Dirk, while having the fourth highest efficiency in this chart with this insane amount of volume.
Too crazy, bro.
Established the greatest slashing and mid-range scoring seasons of tracking data history. But how does the relation of these two areas of dominance put together look like? Can a player truly dominate both the paint and the mid-range at the same time? Or are players pretty much forced to pick a zone? Well, to find this out, I took the top 25 seasons from both sides and of course put them on a chart. The y-axis being total mid-range makes and the x-axis being total paint makes. Let's take a look at this. Chris Paul's 2014 season is great, but not as much stacked up against other greats. 2011 Dirk fails to compete in paint scoring despite his unreal mid-range success. 2013 Melo, 08 Pierce, and 08 Garnett fall near the middle, along with 2023 D-Book, 2017 Kyrie, 2021 Kawhi, and 2020 Jimmy Butler, all hovering in the 200s and high 100s for total makes in both areas. Making our way to some real impressive seasons though, dominions of both areas. We have seasons like 2003 T-Mac, his counterpart 2003 Kobe, 2022 DeMar, 01 Allen Iverson, and 2017 Russell Westbrook. However, the real best of the best are seasons like 09 Dwayne Wade, 2017 DeMar, 2013 LeBron James, and 2025 Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then you have Michael Jordan from 1990 to 1992. Once again,
what? God, yo, this guy above. Whoa. That boy above everybody in that list. God, yo, I mean, yeah, if you saying peak, yeah, I've never seen nothing like that. 516 mid-range makes, 511. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Yo, I'm telling you, when it comes to shit like, yo, Michael Jordan, what people don't know is this guy was really ahead of his time. Like, he was just so like above of his kind, like of his time compared to everybody else. That's what people really don't know, bruh. It's like it was just too many levels. He was like 5 levels above everybody, bro, when he was playing. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm just saying shit, but he really was just that damn good.
For 82 games, Jordan has by far the most mid-range makes of all time, while only paling in paint makes to 2025 Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and 2023 Nikola Jokic. While this chart doesn't take efficiency into account, and Michael Jordan was known for taking a lot of shots, I'd like to remind you that MJ shot 59% from the paint.
Still efficient.
51% from mid-range. Numbers that are still undeniably great even in today's game. So, is Michael Jordan the definitive greatest mid-range plus slasher combo scorer basketball's ever seen? Well, due to a lack of data, it's impossible to really know that. Sorry, Chokeball 3. However, does Michael Jordan have the highest slashing plus mid-range combo scoring peak ever? Well, based on the hard, tangible evidence we have, I think you can make a pretty good argument for it.
You could. You very much could. Was that it? Yeah, that was it. Nah, I really did not know about those Michael Jordan like facts. Like, I know how good he was as a player already, but just seeing like him breaking down all the metrics, all the advanced stats, all the shots he's made, all the amount he shot, how efficient he was, seeing all that, it's just like, yo, like Michael was just really just different. Like, he was really the best of the best. Like, he like I said before, he really is the blueprint. He's the blueprint of basketball. When you think basketball, all you gonna think about is Mike. That's all you thinking of, bro. That's the first player you thinking about. I'm thinking about Mike before I think about Kobe, Braun, Wham, bro, anybody. I'm thinking about Mike, man. He's just that guy. He's basketball. You know what I'm saying? But hey, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. And if y'all guys want to watch another reaction, click on this video up on the screen.